Ever wonder what happens inside your body when you choose a walk over a run? It's a silent war happening right under your skin. Meet Fatty, your average lazy fat cell. Fatty loves three things: lounging, snacks, and absolutely doing nothing at all. Right now, billions of fatties are snuggled deep in your adipose tissue, hoping you'll stay on that couch forever. But today you've made a choice. You're putting on your sneakers. The fatties start to panic. Something is about to change. On one side, we have the 10,000 step challenge, a long, steady journey that sounds easy but takes commitment. On the other side, the 5K run. It's fast, it's intense, and it promises to burn everything in its path. Which one actually shrinks fatty more effectively? The internet is full of myths, but science has a very specific answer. According to the Mayo Clinic, both walking and running are elite forms of aerobic exercise, but they speak different biological languages. When you walk, you're like a slow-burning candle. When you run, you're more like a raging bonfire. But here's the kicker. Burning calories isn't always the same thing as burning fat. Surprised? You should be. Your body has two main fuel tanks: the sugar tank, which is easy to access, and the fat tank, which is locked tight. To shrink fatty, we need to find the key to that fat tank. And it's not as simple as just moving faster. In this video, we're going microscopic to see exactly how these two activities impact your metabolism and your cells. We'll compare the 90 minutes of walking versus the 30 minutes of running to find the ultimate winner for your lifestyle. So tie your laces tight. Let's dive into the secret life of your fat cells and find out which path leads to weight loss. Let's start with the slow burn. When you walk at a steady pace, your heart rate stays in a very specific zone. This is the fat burning zone, typically between 50% to 60% of your maximum heart rate. At this intensity, your body is in no rush. It has plenty of time to perform a complex chemical process called fat oxidation. Think of fatty as a large, stubborn log of wood. To burn it, you need a steady stream of oxygen. Our tiny oxygen characters are the heroes here. They fly in through the lungs and march straight to the fat cells. Because you aren't panting for breath, there's enough oxygen for everyone. It's a peaceful, efficient delivery system. Inside the fat cell, oxygen helps break down fatty into free fatty acids, which are then released into the blood. According to the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, at this low intensity, about 70% to 80% of the energy you use comes directly from fat. Compare that to sitting on the couch, where you burn almost nothing, or sprinting, where the body panics and looks for sugar. Fatty is finally leaving his sofa. He's being escorted to the mitochondria, the power plants of your cells. In the mitochondria, fatty is converted into pure energy, ATP, through a process that requires constant, steady oxygen. This is why you can walk for hours without feeling hit by a wall. Your fat stores are almost limitless energy. There's a catch. Walking burns fewer total calories per minute than running. It's the tortoise in the race. To burn the same amount of fat as a 30-minute run, you might need to walk for 60 to 90 minutes. So the trade-off for the fat burning zone is time. Are you willing to go the long way to keep fatty moving? Now, let's shift gears to running. When you start sprinting, your body's demand for energy skyrockets instantly. Your heart rate jumps into the high-intensity zone, above 70% or 80% of your maximum capacity. At this speed, fatty is simply too slow to help. Breaking down fat takes time and a lot of oxygen, which you don't have right now. The body panics, it needs fast fuel. So it sprints over to the sugar tank, also known as glycogen stores. Glycogen is like high-octane rocket fuel. It burns fast and doesn't need as much oxygen to explode into energy. Our oxygen characters are now panting and struggling to keep up. They can't deliver enough parcels to keep the fat fires burning. Because of this oxygen debt, your body switches its primary fuel source from 80% fat down to maybe only 30% or 40% fat. Most of the energy now comes from sugar. Fatty is left sitting in the warehouse, watching the sugar cubes do all the work. Don't write off running just yet. Even though the percentage of fat is lower, the total energy spent is massive. Think of it this way: 80% of a small snack, walking, versus 30% of a giant feast, running. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, running can burn double or even triple the calories of walking in the same time frame. However, this intensity creates a byproduct: lactic acid. It's like smoke filling up the factory, making your muscles burn. This is why you can't run forever. Eventually, the smoke becomes too much, and you have to slow down or stop. So, running is a high-stakes gamble. You burn through your sugar reserves quickly, hoping to incinerate calories in a flash. But what happens when the run is over? That's where the real magic of high intensity begins. The run is over and you're gasping for air. but inside your body is working harder than ever to pay back a debt. This is called EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Think of it as your body's afterburn effect. Because running was so intense, your internal factory is overheated and messy. It needs to cool down and clean up. To do this, your metabolism stays elevated for hours, sometimes even up to 24 hours after you've finished your workout. During this recovery period, the body finally turns back to fatty. It uses fat stores to fuel the repair process. So while running didn't burn much fat during the run, it forced the body to burn fat after the run. Walking, however, has almost zero afterburn. Once you stop walking, Fatty goes right back to his sofa and starts relaxing. "Wait," says the walking coach. "I may not have afterburn, but I have something better. Consistency. Because walking is low impact, you can do it every single day without getting injured or feeling burnt out. According to Harvard Health, people who walk consistently are more likely to stick to their routine than those who try to run intensely. Running puts 3 to 4 times your body weight and pressure on your joints. For Fatty, that's like an earthquake every second. Walking is gentle. It keeps the joints happy while slowly but surely draining the fat tank day after day. Think of it as a choice between a high-speed car that might break down, running, and a reliable bicycle, walking. A 2023 study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that total volume of movement matters most for long-term weight loss. So the secret isn't just the intensity, it's how many times you can show up without Fatty winning the war of laziness. So after 10,000 steps and a 5K run, who is the real winner in the battle against Fatty? If you have only 30 minutes, running is the king of efficiency. You incinerate more total calories in a shorter burst. But if you have the time and want to protect your joints, walking is the king of sustainability and direct fat oxidation. Here's the secret sauce. The best exercise is actually the one you don't hate doing. For most people, a hybrid approach works best. Think of it as the interval strategy. Try walking for 5 minutes, then jogging for 1 minute. This wakes up Fatty and triggers the afterburn effect. According to the CDC, adults need 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week to maintain health. Don't forget your muscles. Adding just 2 days of strength training makes Fatty's home even less comfortable. Remember, you can't outrun a bad diet. Fatty loves sugar more than he hates exercise. Keep your protein high and your processed sugars low to ensure Fatty doesn't just grow back overnight. In the end, it's not about walking versus running. It's about moving versus staying still. Every step you take, no matter how slow, is a step towards a smaller, healthier Fatty. Look at Fatty now. He's traded his sofa for a yoga mat and he's feeling leaner than ever. If you found this microscopic journey helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your body's secrets. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. Please consult a healthcare professional before starting a new exercise routine.